Henry VIII is a well-known historical figure who was once quite the ladies' man with 6 wives to his name. But in his final days, he wasn't so hot. Here are 20 horrific facts about the final days of King Henry VIII. Number 20. His wives outlived him. Henry had 6 wives throughout his lifetime, but none of them were by his side when he died. Catherine of Aragon was the first wife that he actually married. And although their marriage didn't work out, she refused to divorce him because she believed that their bond was blessed by God. Anne Boleyn was next, and she was executed after giving birth to Elizabeth. Jane Seymour was the only wife that outlived Henry, but only by 2 years. Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr were all divorced or widowed by the time Henry passed away. Number 19. A new religion. When Henry VIII took the throne, England was very much a Catholic country. But by the end of his life, he had started a new religion called Anglicanism. This change happened because he couldn't get a divorce from Catherine of Aragon. So he broke away from the Catholic Church and made himself the head of the Church of England. No. 18. No heirs. One of the reasons why Henry wanted a divorce from Catherine of Aragon was because they didn't have any children together. Catherine gave birth to a son early on in their marriage, but he died shortly after. She then gave birth to Mary, but Henry didn't think that a woman could be an heir. Once he got his divorce, he married Anne Boleyn, hoping that they would have a son. They ended up having Elizabeth, which was not what Henry wanted. He went through 3 more marriages, but it didn't help him produce an heir. This lack of a male heir led to a lot of problems for England and its people, including the religious upheaval we mentioned earlier. Number 17. The last queen. Henry's last wife was Catherine Parr. She actually outlived him and played a significant role in uniting his children after his death. After Henry passed away, she married Thomas Seymour and became the stepmother of Queen Elizabeth I. 16. His demise. Henry VIII suffered from a number of health issues during his final years. These included obesity, diabetes, gout, depression, and mobility issues. In January of 1547, he developed a fever and quickly became very ill. He died on January at around 10:30 p.m. It's believed that he passed away peacefully while sleeping. Number 15. The legacy of wives. All of Henry's wives had unhappy endings. Catherine of Aragon died believing that her marriage was still intact. Anne Boleyn was executed for treason. Jane Seymour died from complications after childbirth. Anne of Cleves was outlived by 4 of Henry's other wives and spent her time in England building a reputation for herself. Catherine Howard was executed for adultery, and Catherine Parr managed to outlive Henry and marry one of his brothers. Number 14. A weighty issue. Henry VIII struggled with his weight for much of his adult life. By the time of his death, he weighed approximately 400 pounds. This would have made it difficult for him to move around easily, and it also contributed to many of his health problems. Number 13. Bowel obstruction. Henry VIII's weight gain was so extreme that it eventually led to bowel obstruction. This is likely what caused him to develop a fever in January of 1547. It is also believed that this illness may have been related to his diabetes, which he also suffered from. Number 12. A stubborn man. Henry VIII was known for being a stubborn man, and this didn't change in his final days. Despite being ill and in need of medical attention, he often ignored his advisors and doctors. This ultimately contributed to his demise, as he refused to listen to those who were trying to help him. Number 11. Gone with the king. The king's physician, Dr. Pedro Ortiz, was present at Henry's death and said that he saw the king breathe his last. However, there is some doubt over whether Ortiz was really there, or if he was in France at the time. Some believe that Ortiz wrote about the event, but he didn't actually witness it. Number 10. A portly monarch. Henry VIII was so overweight that he had to have special clothes made for him. These clothes were designed to hide his weight and make him look slimmer than he actually was. Tailors had to be specially chosen for the job because they needed to be big enough to fit the king, but also skilled enough to make him look good. Number 9. A Tudor monarch. Henry VIII was the last of the 5 Tudor monarchs. He came to power after the death of his brother, King Edward VI. Henry's daughter, Mary Tudor, was the first queen regnant of England and Ireland. His other daughter, Elizabeth Tudor, followed after Mary. Number 8. Breaking from Rome. As we mentioned earlier, Henry VIII broke away from the Roman Catholic Church to start his own religion. This was largely due to his desire to get a divorce from Catherine of Aragon. Once he did break away, he took the title Supreme Head of the Church of England. Number 7. No more pilgrimages. Henry VIII dissolved all monasteries, friaries, convents and colleges in England, Wales and Ireland. He also confiscated their property and gave it to supporters of the Church of England. This act made pilgrimages illegal within the church. No. 6. A bloody Reformation. Although Henry VIII did start the English Reformation, he was not a fan of shedding blood for religious reasons. However, he did oversee the execution of many people who opposed him, especially those who remained loyal to the Roman Catholic Church. This included the murder of 2 of his wives, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. Number 5. No peace. Henry VIII inherited a kingdom that was at peace, but he ended his reign with England involved in multiple wars. These included the War of the Holy League and the Battle of Pavia. England also engaged in conflicts with Scotland, France and Ireland during his time as king. No. 4. A father's love. Despite having 6 wives, Henry VIII was a father to only one legitimate child, Mary I. However, he treated Mary like a little girl and never acknowledged her as queen. This was because he preferred to have sons, and he had her raised as a woman rather than a monarch. He only realized too late that she was his true heir. Number 3. Suicidal thoughts. At one point during Henry's life, he became so depressed that he considered taking his own life. This happened because he didn't have any legitimate heirs, and he felt like a failure as a king. However, he was talked down from doing anything drastic and lived out his life in misery. No. 2. An unhealthy obsession. Henry VIII was obsessed with food and drink throughout his entire life. This obsession began in his youth when he started to gain weight. It continued until his death, even though he knew that it was contributing to his health problems. Number 1. Too much of a good thing. One of the things that Henry VIII was most fond of was sweets. He loved to eat desserts like tarts, pies, and puddings. However, he ate so much sugar that it led to him developing diabetes. He didn't do anything to control the disease, and it ultimately contributed to his demise. If you know of any other horrific facts about the final days of King Henry VIII, be sure to share them with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay updated on all of our latest content.